additional Xbox performance, new Xbox games, and more. Let's get into it. What is going on, guys? Dealer back again with yet another video. Today we're talking about a number of different subjects, including performance on the next generation Xbox. Well, we have an update right from Digital Foundry on the tools, quote unquote, so many like to make fun of. We've also got some information on games and more. So again, if you end up liking the video, maybe hit the like button, show a buddy or two, and let's get into it. Let's start with Digital Foundry's update on the developer tools, or the GDK, of the Xbox Series X, and how performance is actually already improving. Now, as far as Xbox Series X's 12 teraflop GPU, what exactly is going on here? Well, if you've watched some of my past videos, you know that the tools, quote unquote, the GDK game development kit for the platform, the dev kit, the process in which you bring software to the next generation console, well, it's still in its infancy, as confirmed by the Dirt 5 technical director. I did the interview with him in GameOneDaily.com. I showed that on this channel. Basically, the means to which porting games happens on the platform does not really wring out the performance of the box. Well, not yet anyway. Not only that, but almost all of its next generation features of its architecture are not being used in games right now. The drivers are still very young, and the tools are lacking in some game engines or developer cases. Bottom line, we talked about the tools around the launch of the console, and this is the reason you are not getting quite the performance you will be getting in the next 8 months. I also have to mention that Digital Foundry, The Verge, and others, people like Tom Warren, all reporting the same thing about the tools after RDX podcast, after Jez Corden, right? So again, is it damage control or is it real? Either way, when it comes to Xbox Series X's GPU, well, there is some evidence to suggest they are actually ahead of schedule with optimizing the box, already receiving leads in games like Hitman 3. Alex from Digital Foundry does say the following, and yes, this is Alex Battaglia from Digital Foundry. Hopefully I pronounced that right, but if I didn't, I really am not that concerned. No, seriously, he seems like a nice guy. He says, people may be making jokes about the tools getting better, but I have heard, keywords, I have heard, Digital Foundry has heard that build performance has increased on Xbox Series X since launch. GPU compiler can be pretty important for GPU performance. So again, Digital Foundry confirming that they have heard that performance is increasing. They've heard this from developers. This also comes hot on the heels of the Hitman 3 comparison test between Series X and PS5, and Series X wins by a healthy margin, with the only technical issue being an alpha effects glitch that causes some pretty big frame drops for a split second when you stand near some bushes, but apparently that's being patched soon. We originally told you guys that you may have to wait as long as 8 to 10 months to see these improvements show up, but they are already showing up, and this is just the beginning. There are still features to be used. Again, it's worth reading twice. Alex from Digital Foundry does say people may be making jokes about the tools getting better here, but I have heard the build performance has indeed increased over time since the launch of Xbox Series X. Again, the builds are getting more efficient. They are getting more power out of the box, even without utilizing the velocity architecture or any of its other features like machine learning. This is just the beginning. In fact, many games don't even utilize 16 threads right now. They utilize a little over half of what the CPU is even capable of. Most games don't utilize the 12 teraflops worth of software ray tracing on Series X. All of these things combined form the delta that I originally spoke of. So my question to some of the trolls out there, some of you guys out there that thought the PS5 was 13 teraflops, am I still damage controlling? Or is The Verge, Windows Central, Digital Foundry all repeating what we said months ago? That's right. The answer is B, Billy. Yes, we were correct, Billy. The answer is B. And you know what? Enough of the serious tone, honestly. At the end of the day, we still have to see that performance inked out to its maximum while being utilized with ray tracing in addition to 16 threads, etc., etc. You have to really max these boxes out. You have to use the extra silicon meant for ray tracing to do so. And I have been getting questions about the performance difference between the Hitman versions, and with those better shadow maps, the high resolution shadows, as well as the frame buffer, all combined, they will form about 10 to 15 extra frames per second worth of performance if you were to trade those pixels and effects in for frames, which is how it works. Vice versa, it goes both ways. I want to keep you guys up to date, let you know what's going on. It's being backed up over time, as I said it would be 3 months ago. And today we've got Digital Foundry backing it up yet again when it comes to the tools, quote unquote. Seriously, let me know your thoughts down below on this. It's been a roller coaster ride, and the reason I'm so adamant about really going in on this in real detail and recapping is because it's really weird to be a great group of people that I know as my friends on my podcast, and because these guys, myself, we all talk about what's happening behind the scenes, this other group of people don't have a damn clue what they're talking about or even know what's going on, and they attack you for knowing things that not even some of the best journalists in the world know at the moment. Then months later it comes out that they're saying the same thing. Then they disappear. All the haters disappear. So you know what? I feel like I've got a little bit of a right to kind of be, you know, I'm gonna throw some shade, right? I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with it. I've been waiting on this. I've been biding my time.
So good and tasty.
Again, let me know your thought about this. I'm just being 100% real with you guys. Let's move on to the next topic. I'm sure you're ready. Xbox are really screwing up hard right now. I just want to point this out real quick. The price of Xbox Live Gold has crabs. Like, something's wrong with this, right? Like, it's $60. They basically lined it up with Game Pass. So $10 a month, even in bulk. Yes, you can buy deals and you find a dude in a box next to Arby's that has, none of that. Get that out of here, right? Like, there is no real justification when your competitor not only has PlayStation Now cards at the store at full-time pricing, $60 for a whole year. You can't do that with Game Pass. I understand one's better than the other. It's besides the point. But now you have a situation where Xbox Live is drastically more expensive than it was. Now, if Microsoft had a separate plan, which I do believe they do, why not just enact it already? This doesn't have to happen. So if you plan on dissolving the gold paywall and just forming it, smashing it, crushing it together with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, just do it. Because right now, you got guys out here really going hard, and you've got articles that are all about how Xbox Live is now the worst deal in gaming. So I'll link that down below. I want to know your thoughts on this Xbox Live price hike. Some of you will say it doesn't affect me, so I don't care. But really, replace Xbox Live with other things in the world that don't affect you. I'm sure you care about some things, right? So just try to put yourself in other people's shoes, and whether or not it affects you, it's still a price hike, and that's not really good for the consumer. And they're making plenty of money. We see the books. Again, I've always talked about how the paywalls for both PlayStation Network and Xbox Live are not necessary. They're kind of ridiculous, and this kind of doesn't really do any favors there. Oh man, okay, we got a few more left, and I've been editing this video for 47 years, so I'm gonna speed this last part up, and I'm sure those of you dying of old age watching this probably would appreciate that. So, Resident Evil Village, aka Resident Evil 8, I don't know what they're doing with this name. Yeah, it's got a release date, and this is kind of exciting because it's going to be one of the best looking games on the system when it does release, despite the fact that it's probably coming out for last-gen consoles because, graphics aren't held back, game design is. Basically, the release date is May 7th, 2021. So you will be playing the next entry into the Resident Evil franchise. And Resident Evil 7, to this day, on the Xbox One X, is one of the best looking games there are. It really is. It looks phenomenal. So there's also rumors that may get a next-gen upgrade for some reason. No one knows. Also, Halo betas, Halo Infinite beta is now a thing, and I will leave this link down below so you guys can follow these instructions, but you can join the Halo Insider program to play, and apparently this is going to be how you get a hold of the Halo Infinite beta. What you are testing out is beyond me. Perhaps some new textures on Craig's forehead. I have no clue. Project Mara debuting some new technology from Ninja Theory, a unique shading technology that is scalable across all of their titles across the studio, and really likely Unreal 5 games in general for Microsoft. There's a reason you've seen a lot of these teams using Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine 4 is upgradable to Unreal Engine 5, and likely you will see these technologies scale across all of the games using Unreal Engine that are shared by a publisher like Microsoft. Ninja Theory are really building out this technology to speed up the process of artists and increase fidelity at the same time. It's really quite unique. I'll link this down below as well. Project Mara is a psychological thriller game that takes place in one room, by the way, if you didn't know. And there's not much other information known about this up to this point. And again, I guess I will link this stuff down below for you guys. Xbox Live Gold, let me know your thoughts on that. Hey, as a real fan, you've got to be honest. You got to call a spade. Nobody wants their prices raised. Imagine if that was your electricity bill, your water bill, your Netflix. I mean, people get mad for less. And I don't think because you're a fan of a brand that, you know, that should be okay. I don't believe that. So let me know your thoughts and how many of you are going to keep it 100 about this, huh? Seriously, thank you guys so much for what you do. You guys are awesome. And just because I voiced my opinion and it might not match up with yours, that don't mean that we're not friends, right? So thank you guys for what you do. Hit the like button if you haven't. Maybe show a buddy or two. And of course, don't forget to ride a skateboard. Many of you guys didn't do that after my last video. Please, it's very important for Miles of Windows Central, apparently. You got to ride skateboards. And subscribe. Yeah, check out the links down below. I'm Dealer. I'll see you in the next one.